Hi Aquarius, welcome to your August reading and thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thank you for the love, the shares, the likes, the subscribes, all the positive energy you guys sent to my channel. I truly appreciate it and I just wanted to say that really quickly. So how are you doing, Aquarius? How have you guys been? How was July for you? I felt some ups and some downs in your energy, but the ups were good as well, And yes, the downs are more pulse and low energy frequency. So feeling a little fatigued, feeling like your body, your muscles is trying to tell you something, like you want to expand, but you feel limited. And so let's see what's coming in for you for the month of August and see if that clears out a little bit. I do see that things that have been bothering you, but you can't really put your finger on it, will come forward in the month of August, and you will be able to really see it in a full bright light, like almost from the moon card into the sun card. Basically, everything being illuminated and clear, made clear to you is what I'm feeling. So that's something to look forward to, because then you can actually actively make steps to get out of the energy and not feel the way you might have been feeling. Okay, let's see. Aquarius, what's coming in for my beautiful water barriers? Aquarius, there we go. That's your card. You got ego. You may feel like you're trapped in your situation, but that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. All right, so maybe you guys have been chasing something or been putting a lot of pressure on yourself based on gaining something material. Maybe it's a home, maybe it's putting a payment down, or it's about getting a different car or a certain type of leather jacket. I don't know what your desires are at the moment, but Leo season can really enhance that energy. At the same time, it's your opposite. But your full moon, and I really do feel that that's something that's connected to that, is going to illuminate certain things, going to see like where your energy has been focused on and where you can shift certain things around, so you can start to allow that positive thinking to come in again. It's like it's not weighing as heavy on you, because a lot of times when I say like negative thinking negatively, speaking negatively, it almost sounds like, hey, this is something you're doing and you're doing it on purpose and you're doing it very conscious, but that's not true. Sometimes we just do not have the capability of feeling the freedom of feeling that sense of energy, even if it's physically energy, to fight against it, to feel different, to actually have those positive thoughts. It's not something that you always can control. In the end of the day, there's always certain steps and tools you can use to get to that point when you feel like, hey, now I have a decision, I can choose positive or negative. The glass is half full or half empty. Yes, but that's not always true, and it's not always like, very conscious at the same time. But they're making you aware, and letting me make you aware that that's something that's going to be helpful for you in the month of August. Okay, so even if you feel trapped in your situation, so Eight of Swords, really seeing no way out, really don't understand how, what, where, who, when, and because of that, not unknowing that those type of aspects, you feel like you're trapped, you feel like you have no options, you have no way to go. But that's not where your focus should be on, about the who, where, what, when. And then if you know the who, what, where, when, then you can actually start believing in the good outcome of something. It's if you feel like, hey, there's a situation where I feel really trapped in, or I do not know how or where this is going to get better anytime soon. Is there anything else in your life, around you, in your present moment, in that particular day when you feel overwhelmed, feel trapped, where you can focus and shift your energy towards? Those are little things that are going to help you look different in other situations, even though it doesn't feel like that. Even though right now you're like, yeah, well, this doesn't work, but it will work. And that's what they're saying. Be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking. So look around, what do you have? It's focusing on all the things you have, you got. And maybe it's time for you to release certain material things, to not hold on to it so tightly. Because if you release it and you let the energy flow and know that certain things, yes, they can hold value, but not everything holds a similar value. Not everything needs to stay in your aura every day in order for you to move forward. Be open, clean out a drawer, make an empty drawer, see how quickly things manifest back into that drawer. Clear out a drawer this week somewhere in your house, even if it's a tiny closet space, but keep it empty. And then maybe write a note. I don't know. And there's something I'm getting right now. Maybe write a note. Open to receive. You put it in that empty space, in a drawer or in a closet. Maybe put it in a closet where one plank is like really full and the other shelf down there is like empty, and then you put like open to receive and things like that. Just opening up your energy, shifting your chain. It's weird, yeah, but you guys like weird, right? Like sometimes it's nice to be weird. Weird. What is weird in general? Weird is fun, because weird is an opinion. If I say, for example, that is weird, it's because something is not regular to me, or it's not something that I would choose to do. And so if I look at something, I say, that's weird, because it's not something that will happen on a regular basis, not something you would do on a daily basis, or not something you would say in a situation like that, or do in a situation. So then it's weird. You put an opinion on it, but it's an opinion, because if it's something that you do every day, that to you it's not weird. It's for you, it's common, it's normal, it's regular. And so it's good to be weird. All right? I like weird. People call me weird all the time, but I appreciate it. It means I'm not regular. You're weird, but you're cute. You're weird, but you're funny. You're weird, but, I like it. That's what I get a lot. You're quite weird, but I kind of like it. But you're sweet. Thought you were really like this, but now I get to know you, like kind of really like that. It's different, but it's weird, because I thought you were like this, but you're not. I get that all the time, and you get that all the time as well. I know. Yeah. Because that's the thing, see? I wanted to show you this before we move on. See the beautiful Siamese cat, and she's surrounded by all these beautiful jewelry and things like that. But look what's on her neck. It's a collar, but it's a leash. And because she's so connected to her possession, she's bound to it, to sit there and protect it all the time. So it takes away a sense of her freedom, because she's so overly focused on keeping her jewelry, keeping her shiny things to herself and protecting it all the time. What are you protecting in your life that takes away all opportunities? And every time, almost on every card, there's a butterfly hiding. And the moment you get a card with a butterfly, it's about breaking free. Allowing newness and transformation to happen. Just because you've been one way for 50 years doesn't mean you can't be different from now in the 2 years to come. And then you have another 50 years of, you, other part of you. If you're lucky. I don't know if everybody wants to become 100. I don't know. Look at that. Gemini energy. The lovers. Decisions. Making commitment and sticking to it. And I'm also really feeling an energy of like setting something free, and if it comes back to you, it's yours to keep. Something they say. So that's something for August for you guys, Aquarius. It's like setting something free. If it comes back to you, it was meant for you. Even if you have certain things, like you're moving, for example, and you kind of don't want to take everything because it's a lot of work. And if you're gonna put it, on a website of like, hey, you guys can pick it up for free, then you don't have to carry it to your new house, And the thing is, if it's meant to be in your new house, it will come back to you. You might find it somewhere, in like 3 months, and it's like, oh well, it's a good deal, let me get it, something like that. It's just not being afraid to set something free, Because if it's supposed to be in your energy, it will always come back to you. It will. Okay, there we go. 5 of Pentacles with the Lovers, you know. If staying together is not bringing out the best of either of you right now at this moment in your life and in their life and in your guys' journey, and maybe you're single, so that doesn't apply to you, but if you are going through certain struggles with your spouse or with your loved one or your soulmate or your twin flame, whatever you want to call it, if you're going through that, it's like both of you not 100% want to take a lead in something, not want to make the decision of like, okay, we both are aware that this is not good, this is not really, you know, the happy place we both want to be in, this is not really going the way that we expected it to go, but we both do not know how to take, you know, the lead or to really make this different, to really have a different outcome, because for some reason we're just gonna go circles around one another. But that's the thing with what they say. It's like, you don't have to follow each other blindly and everything. You don't have to be that in order to be connected. You know, you can be disconnected yet energetically connected. If one of the two of you needs a break, needs a getaway, or needs something, you can do that, because energetically you guys are loyal to one another. So if you need a break when it comes to that, if you need to walk your own path for a little bit, but you are still committed on an energetic level, just not on the physical, you know. And I mean, you know what I mean, not like physically you're out there with other people, I'm just saying like physically you're outside, you know, their aura. And that's okay. That's what they're saying. Like sometimes you find each other by setting each other free for a little bit. So I also see a commitment with one another. It's like, if one of the two of you, both of you, have not been feeling that great physically, that's gonna change. Yeah. You see, then you have a Page of Cups, getting back to the basics, because I feel like something went to a 0 to 100 real quick, or it started like, let's say, from 0 to 20, it went good. It was, you know, no rush, no pressure, and everything was good. And then when we hit the 20, it went to 80, and it went to 120, you know, like real quick. And then it can feel like, where is the fun of it all, you know, from the beginning? So the Magician is about taking a leap of faith. You gotta know what you need, Aquarius. I feel like I'm doing a podcast with you guys, like the way I'm talking like this. I don't know. Maybe we should do podcast tarot. I'm claiming that name right now. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's out there. Anyway, let's focus. You got to take the lead when it comes to your own needs. You got to know what you need. And you got to serve yourself first, before you can serve anybody else, but before you can expect someone to serve you and your needs. You got to take a stand. It's like, okay, I'm in a situation with someone else, or I'm not. Or, you know, it could also be, like I said, you're single and things like that. But you got to take a stand when it comes to knowing yourself, knowing what you need, and that can change. It's like, yeah, but I always need this or that, or I don't need this. But maybe there's a period in your life where you do need certain things. And maybe you need to go out and take some space to get to know that part of yourself. You know, and you are responsible for knowing your own needs. That's nobody in the world can take on that role for you, because only you know exactly. Queen of Wands, beautiful. Yeah, Three of Cups. So I do see that certain outside energies can really help you get to the center of self. Anything outside the ordinary is what I'm feeling. Anything outside the person that you speak to every day, you know, just overall getting out of the rock, getting out of the daily routines. It will help you reset that fire, relight the fire, because I do see that there's a really an increase of your own sense of self-worth, and also your confidence level is really rising in the month of July, which is very positive, Aquarius. There we go. Then we have the Fool with the Hierophant. That's beautiful. I love that. because it's like, I am free to believe what I believe. I do not need to believe what society tells me to believe, or what this religion or that religion is saying about me, what these people are thinking or believing to believe. I am free, and I am going to take on this journey on my own. I'm going to see what I believe in and how to apply that. Breaking free. Maybe you're looking for some spiritual wisdom or knowledge within self, or maybe, around you. But what it is that it's a spiritual truth that sets you free. It's like almost listening to a reading, or it could be a podcast. That's maybe why I got that feeling. Or it could be something in a book you read, or a magazine, or just something you read, on the sticker on the street. Could happened to me before. It's like, whoa, that's interesting. Stay with me for months. It was like so interesting. I love when people do that. Random information, not necessary. Let's move on. A spiritual belief or truth or aspect, opinion, way of looking at something hits home, is what I'm hearing. I mean, it just hits home. It's like, well, if it's like this, then maybe that's like that as well. And if I do this, then maybe I shouldn't want to try that anymore. And then if I don't want to try that anymore, maybe I'm finally free of thinking that I have to do everything that I think I must do and reach, And so freeing yourself doesn't always look like getting that level of stability or gaining that level of finances, because then you can find stable and then you can go up on some journey or have some more freedom when it comes to your time. But it's mostly in stop wanting and needing the things that you're striving for so hard that actually have nothing to do with a sense of freedom or stability or serenity. It's actually running away from it, and then you find yourself tired and drained and fatigued because you keep running after something that is never really going to satisfy you, or you're never going to be able to reach, because it's a perception. It's not success, for example. Like, I want to be successful. What is successful? And when are you there? And when is it good enough? I spoke about this with you guys like last year. It's like, what's your perception on success? When are you successful? Some people is like, I'm going to be successful as I'm, for example, a mother. Other people or women are mothers, for example. And it's like, oh, I will be happy if I have my own business and I'm capable of, combining the two or three. Or maybe somebody has a really successful business and has children, but then it's like, yeah, but I really would like a husband, or a wife or a spouse, or just someone to share my life with. There's always something out there, and I think it's always good to have some level, something that you want to go to and grow towards, because it keeps you up. But if it's something that really consumes your sense of happiness and serenity because you don't have it, that's a moment where things just drain you. It's exciting to make something happen and to create something new in your life and manifest something, definitely. And it should feel like that, but it shouldn't feel like you're not worthy or you're not nobody if you're not there yet. Like, what is that? It doesn't define you as a human being. It does not. It really doesn't. You can feel like that. You can make yourself believe that way. You can think about that towards other people, definitely, but it's not true. And then you can say, but it's not true because you say it's not true. No, but it's not true. It's just in general not true. It's not my opinion. You will figure it out. But you can choose the easy way or the hard way, but that's up to you, because you're meant to walk the pathway you choose regardless. Interesting conversation, Aquarius. That's why I waited with your reading, because I know it was gonna be one like this. See, 10 of Wands. I told you, it's heavy. It's heavy, yet you stay. It's heavy, yet I can do it one more week. I can hold on one more month. I can wait till it gets better. I can do this. I'll just neglect this, or I'll just keep going, or I'll get us back together, or I'll just heal this, or I'll just make, this work by myself for us. No. I see you going back to the first 20%, and that's actually the happy place for the two of you, or for you in general, with you and a part of yourself. Relationships, I know you like to see development. Throat chakra, you like to see development and growth. Of course, you work towards something, but not all relationships are meant to go in a certain way, in a certain timeline, or are meant to stay at a certain phase and then stay there forever. Sometimes, yes, you can be from the 0 to 20% for 5-6 months, and then you move up to 50 or 70% of really all up, all in. And that's really good and really healthy for the two of you. But then maybe some, or one of you, or both of you need a couple of months in the 35%, because that's the way that develop the person on the individual level, and that comes back to the union. It's okay to put up the volume and put it down. Just like, for example, when you listen to a song and you have to focus really quickly in a car, you can put it down, because then you can focus upon what's going on around you. It's like, okay, there's nothing going on. Okay, I'm going to put it back up now. That's the same thing with relationship. You can always give the same amount of energy and effort and, attention, because sometimes you need to put it down to focus on your own things that's going on in your surrounding at that very moment. And that's not only the person, or could be friendship, could be work, connection. It doesn't have to be your partner, obviously, but I think it's important for us to communicate that, because if it is a relationship situation, it's important to communicate. It's like, hey, how are you feeling about us? How are you feeling about our 80% at this moment? Do you feel like we both will benefit from a 35% for a little bit? And the other person could be like, yeah, I actually would love that, because I love you and I'm completely committed, but I kind of need some space for self right now. And if you are both sensitive energies, like souls, or very empathic or things like that, Aquarius, it's important for you to both acknowledge that, and it's okay. As long as you two are good, you're good. Society has nothing to do with that. As long as the two of you are good, you're good. But if you're not, and you're staying in a certain, 90%, but you both don't have any, not even 15 to give at that very moment in time, it feels like this. And that's when breakups happen, because you feel like it's too much. You can't deal with this. And you get annoyed and short off, and things don't flow, and you feel like, oh, it's too much. I just don't want to feel any pressure. But you will be totally fine and happy, both of you, with the 20%. But for some reason, you keep it on 80. Because that's just the way it goes. That's the way it's supposed to be. But if you both are people that benefit the most from 40, then you gotta find yourself a 40, For that, it's also valuable and adjustable. If you have a person that wants to go from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 60 to 70 to 80 and 85 and then stay there, and you're a person who sometimes, has the 40 on, 56, goes with that, benefits from that, flourishes in that energy, you shouldn't be with a person that goes from 10 to 20, 30, 40. And acknowledging that has nothing to do with you're doing anything wrong and that person is wrong. No, it's just not being compatible. And that's fine. Because the thing is, if you feel like you're both bad people, or you're not being a good girlfriend or wife or husband or boyfriend, because of the needs that you have, and that you're just that adjustable, you just need those adjustments sometimes. Exactly. With the Queen of Swords, then it's not the connection that you're looking for. It's not the... And I'm not saying showing up in a 10%, I'm here but I'm not here, and I'm, out there with other people. And no, it's not about that, It's being okay with going with the flow. And I don't know why I'm talking about relationships and business trips and things like that, but it's just coming forward right now for you guys, so take it or leave it. The Hermit with the High Priestess. You know. The Hermit with the High Priestess. It's time to log out. It's time to... There's a time of being social and just not. Time of tuning in and a time of sending things out. Trust your intuition. Your intuitive guidance is very strong this month, so benefit from that, tuning into that. Overall, I see like the Hierophant, the High Priestess. It's just the Hermit here as well. There's a lot going on within you. A lot of energetic upgrades and downloads. And so you need to tune things down to 35% so you have enough space to create. Aquarius. Create that space for self. You're not stuck, okay? And maybe you do need to move to a different place at one point, maybe in this year, so you don't have that high as rent. And maybe, you do go from 4 bedrooms into 2 bedrooms, or you go from 2 bedrooms into a studio apartment. But it's a nice studio apartment and you pay like a couple hundred less and you have less stress, less pressure. Then that is exactly what they're saying when it comes to be careful not to overly focus upon material wealth and break free of negative thinking about that studio apartment or about 2-bedroom apartment. Or maybe you want to move to a different city where you can have the same amount of rooms in your house but just different types of rent. Do you really need to live there? And if so, is it really making you happy? Is it giving you stress or not? Okay. Alright, Aquarius, I could sit here for another half hour, but that's not fair towards the other signs, because I said like I'm gonna keep them shorter this month. I tried with you guys, but I think we had a good talk. Well, I really enjoyed this talk with you guys. Okay, let's pick up one more card and then I'm gonna check out Aquarius. You got 2. Every time I shuffle this deck, I got 2 or 3 cards. A new earth and earthed. Learning how to be human in a world, but not of it. And then you have it's happening. Keep holding the vision. All right. I spoke about being weird and weird being good. You know that certain things, they often say like Aquarius are the aliens. Which, I don't know. I don't have an opinion about it. So I'm just saying. It's because they hardly understand you. Because you guys are so from the future. Like, you guys can think towards the future 10 steps ahead. And other people don't see why. And then, after a year, you're like, oh, well, I actually do remember that conversation with you, Aquarius. And now I'm open. And I'm ready to understand what you meant last year, like that. And a new earth, it's happening. Keep holding the vision. So there is things changing, and I do feel that you guys are going to rebuild something, but that's not because you have felt such a lack of something and wanted to gain something. It was about being and knowing your self-worth and knowing where you want to work towards from a place of passion and a place of motivation, and not a lack of, but just feeling excited to try something and do something, and trusting your intuition to use that guidance, because it's happening. I really do feel something is coming into light for you, right? I love you so much, Aquarius. If you want a personal, I'm open and available this month, so you can find the information in the description box about that. I love you so much, and I will be back on my channel soon with something else for the month of August, so that's a little side thing. Okay, bye, Aquarius. I love you.